If you're executing on a grant project that's not well aligned, you can be a waste of your time, and time always being the most precious resource in any company, but especially a startup. It can also be pretty heartbreaking, at least difficult. Maybe maybe that's a better word, to win a grant and then only then realize that it's not well aligned, that you can't take it, and then have to abandon it and not get contracted for it. So folks go after grants, which is really identification and assessment in an opportunistic manner, right? They just kind of see random opportunities, or folks tell them about something, or they do maybe minimal research. And that's why having a comprehensive and strategic process for grant identification and assessment is so important. So our ecosystem mapping process, which we certainly don't have a monopoly on, we've kind of just made the identification and assessment process more standardized and rigorous, where we go through this really comprehensive search of an ecosystem that we've defined based on the elements of a company's strategy, looking at literally thousands of funding opportunities and hundreds of funders, and down selecting that based on the company's specific priorities to create a funding pipeline that allows us to identify the opportunities both that they'll have the highest chance of success with, and are also the most well aligned with what the company needs to do and in their roadmap. I mean, anyone can follow that basic template. Again, you also have to basically start with, before you can even do that process, you need to be clear on and define your company priorities and have a technology roadmap that goes out, several years into the future to even do that mapping process effectively. If you're going to have grant funding as a key part of the funding strategy and make sure that you're not chasing it off track, the availability and alignment of grant funding should certainly be taken into account as one data point in your company strategy, and could be an important data point depending on how big of an element it is of your integrated fundraising strategy. But that's really all it is. It's one data point. It definitely should not be dictating the company strategy.